Gasparino is here with you in New York. Tuna, good morning.
Good morning. Great to be back.
Great to have you back. So Viacom beat on the top and bottom lines, it looks. How do you think they did?
I thought those results were really very good. The numbers were pretty, showed solid gains. That I think those were driven by MTV networks. International advertising and U.S. advertising market seems to be healthy, as well as affiliate gains. We were actually pretty impressed with the film division as well, which has traditionally been a drag on results. So this quarter really saw broad-based gains.
You almost sound a little surprised, are you?
Well, yeah, I mean, actually, I think, with what we've been hearing, I think with the recession and all of that, to put in this kind of performance in a softening economy, I think really speaks well for the outlook for the company for the rest of this year.
Are you so upbeat that you might change your rating on the stock? You've got, what, I think, a hold.
Well, right now we're still, neutral, and we'll watch for signs of consistent execution before we can become more constructive on the share. So we're still recommending a hold now.
Tuna, Ellen Braitman's been tracking the numbers for us. I know she wants to jump in here.
Tuna, I'm curious, as the writer's strike ends and the shows are back on network TV, are you going to see folks migrate now back from the cable networks to network, and how could that potentially be a drag?
Well, that's a great question. That's what we hear quite a bit. We hear quite a bit from investors. Broadcast ratings has taken a big hit as a result of this writer's strike. I don't think that you're going to see, an immediate migration back. Keep in mind, there's a host of other unrelated issues that's weighing on the entire ratings, a measurement system, the conversion to C+3, DVRs, etc. So I think that it's really going to be kind of a slow, gradual, process as the networks shows continue to come back, and we're going to be watching to see what new shows might come on during the upfront. So we expect that the audience fragmentation issue, I think you alluded to, is going to persist at least in the near term.
Okay. You also mentioned some surprise, Tuna, in terms of the films division. Last year Paramount had some films, Transformers, Shrek the Third, big box office hits. They've got Iron Man and also Indiana Jones. Can that match the success we saw last summer?
Well, I think it'd be hard-pressed to match last summer's slate. I mean, obviously, Iron Man's premiere tonight is going to be closely watched, and this opening weekend is going to be critical. Indiana Jones 4 is also a very highly anticipated installment. So I think Viacom, the Paramount, really has a pretty good slate. But last summer was a record, and not just for Paramount, because they had Shrek 3 and Transformers, which were all, record setters at the box office. But I think this summer really is maybe up a little bit against difficult comparisons. But I like the slate. I like the chances.
Tuna, what do you make of Viacom forming their own paid TV channel and on-demand service? It's going to compete with, its former sister, brother, whatever you want to call it, CBS's Showtime network. Really pit two companies controlled by Sumner Redstone against each other. Sumner said he kind of likes the competition. Do you like it? Well,
that's an issue that's up for debate. I'm somewhat skeptical that you actually need to, another paid TV network in this day and age, where, it seems to be saturation of these so-called output deals. One thing I kind of found very unusual was the announcement of that launch didn't really come with any carriage partners. So there's been no cable or satellite operators lined up, and that's the potential hurdle that we're expecting. Is going to be a challenge to launch another linear TV network. We're actually hearing more, more demand for on-demand channels, stuff like that, new media, as opposed to another paid TV network. So we're ambivalent on this initiative.
All right, so you've got a hold rating on Viacom. Viacom, the old Viacom split into two. You got the new Viacom, you've got CBS. Which one do you prefer?
We have a hold on Viacom. We're actually recommending a sell on CBS, and the reason is because CBS by far has a much larger exposure to advertising, about 70% of total revenues, and that's got to be a concern in a slowing economy.
Okay, so what's it going to take to get Viacom shares? You like it, you got a hold rating, or you prefer it over CBS? Stock's down 9%. What's it going to take to get this stock moving to the upside here?
Well, I do believe that, as I said earlier, Iron Man, if it opens up big in the box office, the stock could get a pop. The summer box office is going to be key. Today's earnings call coming up shortly. You should watch for any indication of the trends in this scatter advertising market, which has been relatively healthy.
Okay.
On the global side, there's been issues about some restructuring there, which I think the gains are just starting to kick in. So we expect those to provide some of the indicators.
We got to run. Tuna, thank you so much. Tuna Amobi over at Standard & Poor's.
temporary